Hi, welcome to the channel, and hello again if you're a return viewer. Now this is the second of a half a dozen reviews I'm recording in a very different way than I usually do, at night, different angle, all the different lighting, everything. Doing it after work just to get through all of these videos. I'd usually wait till the weekend, but here we go. Now today I am talking about Craig Thompson's book, Ginseng Roots. Now this is the latest graphic novel from Craig Thompson, who came to prominence maybe over 20 years ago with his book Blankets, which was kind of like a memoir of his adolescence years, his first love, and his kind of struggle with Christianity and his very strict Christian parents, and how he rebelled against that and felt confined by it. He lived in a home where there was no media except for what his parents provided and so on, and he fell in love with a girl, and all sorts of consequences came of that. And that Blankets told a story of him and his brother. And then he went on later to create another book that I read called Habibi, which was kind of like a love story which kind of wove in elements of comparative religion and race and culture and all type of thing. It's been criticised more recently for being a little offensive for these things, but I enjoyed it at the time. And those are the two graphic novels by Thompson that I've read. He's also created other works. About a decade ago, he started working on Ginseng Roots as a serialized comic, which you could buy or subscribe to and get every now and then. And earlier this year, this was put all together in one book called Ginseng Roots, and he included new material for this book. Now let me just say, if you are a lover of graphic novels, if you like the comic artwork, the way of stories are told in pictures, you've got to get hold of this. This is an exemplary example of the form. It is extraordinary. What is it about? It is basically another memoir from Thompson. Now this time we start back when he was a young child, and him and his brother, who also featured in Blankets, are joined by his sister, who he totally omitted from Blankets. And we start off as like a memoir of his childhood in central Wisconsin, where he and his siblings were employed to work on a ginseng farm. Now, ginseng had become a massive industry in Wisconsin. North American ginseng was booming at the time, and they worked really hard, really rotten conditions to pull weeds, remove rocks, all sorts of things from the ginseng farm. And we learn a lot about his childhood, his strict parents or whatever, and he and his brother absolutely loved comics. They loved them, they couldn't get enough of them, and to afford to buy comics in their small town and with their strict parents, they had to work hours and hours and hours on the ginseng farm, and they spent all their money on comics, and then they'd go and work hours and hours again, and it would go over and over and over for years. And so much so far in this book is a story of their childhood, but then it expands out massively. We learn all about the ginseng industry in the United States, its ebbs and flows, the people who work in it. Then it expands even further. We learn more about ginseng itself, its history, its culture, its medicinal purposes, its important role in the Asian societies, and expands out more. We learn all about the people who worked on these farms, who built these farms, who made millions when it was booming, but now can't even pay their bills. Expands out further. He goes visits, I think, Taiwan, South Korea, and China itself. He learns about all the alternate medicines, the theory and practice of the alternate medicines. At the same time as he's creating this book, he is suffering a degenerative condition of his hands. Now that must be the most terrifying thing a graphic artist can experience. He can't put the pictures that he wants to put down on paper because his hands are not responding to him. So he seeks alternate medicine help. And this all feeds into Ginseng Roots, the book. We learn massive divergent storylines which are all somehow linked to his life and ginseng. And we learn all about ginseng, all about the ancient Chinese traditions, how then their mythology, how it was created, and all that type of thing. And we go on sidetracks and we can learn about the people who work on the ginseng farms in America, the Hmong people who fought alongside the United States in the Vietnam conflict, and ended up having to be massively evacuated or become refugees, and they found a new life in the United States, and a lot of them worked in the ginseng farms and helped people become very rich when the business was booming. And Thompson and his brother take part in some current day ginseng festivals, and also in the United States and also in Asia, where they meet all the people who have been making money or not making money in ginseng. Excuse me. It may seem a boring topic to some of you, but I found it really fascinating. And the other thing about this book, it diverges all over the place, but it's all connected. But the artwork is amazing. If you, like I said, if you love graphic novels as a form of art, as a form of storytelling, this book is something for you. I wish I had marked specific pages, but it's all this kind of red and brown wash colours. There are some amazing panels in here. I wish I had marked some to show you, but I am so lazy that I didn't get around to doing that. But there we go. There's all sorts of stuff in here. There's fanciful stuff, realistic stuff. Just, I don't know if it's showing up on the camera with the lighting as I've got it, but there's just some amazing art in this. And to know that he was suffering from hand degeneration as he was doing this is puts it on another level. So anyway, it's all about home, family life, religion, culture, medicine, you name it. It's somehow been connected in this book, and I would look it up online if you want to see some examples of the art. Thompson has really outdone himself in this book. I think it will be used as an example of what graphic novels can do when people look back from the future. Yeah, I just really recommend it. As you might have noticed, it kind of blew me away just how involved, how detailed, how expressive, and how amazing the storytelling was. It really carried me along. I didn't think I'd want to read a book about ginseng, but it hooks you in. It's quite amazing. So that is Ginseng Roots by Craig Thompson. Available now. It's been around since about April. I'm sure you can get hold of it in any major online bookstore. So that is Ginseng Roots by Craig Thompson. Okay, we'll be back again maybe tomorrow night. See you later.